Yes, maybe OPX could attempt it with, I don't know, Silas starting E and Maokai starting W.
Grows, so shall I.
Yep, potentially. I mean, you do have a huge amount of follow up with that Samira Lucian, able to put out a lot of damage early, particularly if they get nice and up close and personal.
Yeah, it
And it
does look
is
like
looking like
they're going to try. It is the patented blue side invade onto the blue buff of the enemy team. And GST just going for the pipe point. They're going to get surprised by this attack. And it's a first blood on the one champion you don't want to see a first blood on.
yeah.
Evolution takes the kill.
Well, we kind of predicted it there a little bit. Not sure if we accidentally tempted fate, but there we go. The first blood going over to Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, and if Kale, wasn't already cringing at the thought of having to lane against Lucian, now he has an extra longsword.
Yeah. And even though it's, only an extra 10 AD, 10 AD on a champ who is constantly autoing you and constantly pelting you with abilities definitely adds up a lot in the early game.
Yeah, I would also like to highlight here that Ezreal went for Tear of the Goddess start instead of Doran's item, so that early lane is going to definitely be in favor of OPX as well.
But I did say that, the bot lane of GST will want to be playing very safe. They won't be wanting to look for trades, so I can understand Tear of the Goddess here. You just don't want to be fighting at all.
Yeah, okay, and we see both junglers basically mirrored right now. It wouldn't surprise me if they went for 5 camps or even 6 camps each. Okay, Mundo is going to skip his Krugs. He is one of those champions that could potentially go even for a full clear and still make it to Scuttle in time, but, it takes some practice to do that consistently. Bolvar is going to go for 5 camps as well, just finishes Wolves. And we're just waiting for the first move of each jungler here. Coffee Weep getting that test with Spirit. Silas has to dash away just to avoid some of that damage.
And we're already seeing the pressure that Hans is putting on the mid lane. 16 CS to 5. It's just brutal for early game Kayle here.
Oh, it should be a solo kill right here. The Ignite is going to burn down the Kayle. And that's kill number 2 for Hans. Third minute of the game. Yeah, this is exactly what you don't want to see. Like, the Kayle, it's not just the CS that you're losing, but it's the EXP, and that's potentially the more important part in this exchange, because you're trying to get to your ranged form as early as possible, just so you can have a chance to survive in this lane.
Yeah. And we saw at level 1, the Lucian on the opposite side of his minions playing so aggressively, because what can a level 1 Kayle do? Literally nothing. To that, and you're not going to be ganked by a Mundo at level 1, so you can freely attack the Kayle. And we saw just how effective Hans can be on that champ there.
Yeah, this is definitely one of his signature champions. And it just went through draft. Every time it goes through draft, I feel like, a little smile forms on Vince's face. He's like, yes. They're gonna let me do it. They're gonna let me commit war crimes on Summoner's Rift again.
Maybe some teams are just thinking, he won't do it to us. We're nice. But there is no mercy. There is no mercy from him at all.
Surely, if we first pick Kayle mid, he won't answer with Lucian. Like, that would just be BM. But it turns out, yeah. It is the Lucian every time. And he keeps zoning Kayle off of minions. He's keeping the wave next to, closer to his tower. Just getting denied more and more of his Kayle really, really rough spot. And even Feb is here to try and gank this poor champion. No flash. Yep, Feb just Feb just uses his own flash because why not? Just guarantees the kill. And takes it for himself as well.
I just want to point out, 5 minutes into the game, there is already a 1.4k difference just in mid lane. Just in mid lane gold, 2,500, 2,600 now, compared to 1,100 gold. That is huge already.
Okay, the engage from Guar Stardians. Zephyr's slowing down the Maokai. Can they even get him low enough? The reply though from Jaina Proudmoore, he's going in. No ultimate though. He's still going with the stacked Conqueror. Can he survive? The Mundo briefcase is going to seal the deal here. Now it's a 2 for 2, but Bekla is way lower than Vasilis, who decided to TP to the action. And it's a double kill for Vasilis. That's going to be much appreciated in a pretty difficult matchup up in the top lane. And yeah, it just keeps getting better for Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, and I thought that was quite a good gank from Yuri Undertones. It was just a better TP. Diera coming in clutch there. Silas TP doing a lot of work there for Order of the Phoenix.
And it is a small win, but the real problem is not being taken care of, and that's Volution in the mid lane. He has the levels to take his advantage. He just decided to go for it, but the culling is not going to finish the job. Now Jaina Proudmoore in a 1v2 situation. Dodges the first bomb, doesn't dodge the second, might just die here. No summoners. Blocks the Essence Flux, but that's not enough. But just caught with your pants down a little bit. And yeah, Guar Stardians take advantage of that one. Very nicely done. And the bot lane is at least one portion of the map where they really don't want to fall too far behind. And Ezreal is doing a good job along with Bazillion.
Yeah, and that's just reading the game well. They knew that Small Walrus was not in the bot lane, just helping the jungler, getting some vision towards Dragon. And Samira, without any CC, either to help her escape or to help her get in, is actually a really, really weak target, realistically. So I do like that engage from Ryan and Zephyrs.
Well, now D-Hero going really aggressive, but Ilaoi this is exactly what she wants in a 1v1 scenario. The shutdown's gonna come in. And now the kill and response from OPX, they really have the numbers advantage. Ezreal has to be careful. Samir jumps over the wall, but Ezreal is going to run to the safety of his tower. Yeah, and definitely D-Hero, even though he has 2 kills, he can't feel that confident in this case. Oh, Hands really going ham. He was really close to taking that kill. Kel still had hit her ultimate though.
I'm not sure if Convoker had the mana though for it, which is why to be so careful.
Flash got burned from Hands, and now the punish could potentially come in, but wow. He actually stays alive, and he almost gets the kill as well. The Mundo is not nearly tanky enough.
The Ezreal ult.
True shot barrage. Yeah, it's gonna whiff.
Take a bit of a breather there. A lot happened. The shutdown on the Silas, though, for a Kofuib in the top lane could be pretty big. Now that's, what, I think 450 gold for that kill, plus all of the experience and minion gold. That might make top lane much more difficult for D-Hero.
Yeah, the Fat Ilaoi would definitely be a nice option to have against his team. GST getting some punches in. It's not exactly a completely one-sided game so far, but yeah, still, like, we have to keep highlighting the monstrous gap in gold when it comes to the mid lane.
Wow, nearly 2k gold in the mid lane already in favor of Hands. That is brutal.
And Kale's sitting on a Seeker's Arm Guard. She's not even building towards Nashor's Tooth. This is just delaying. The experience is delayed, the gold, like, the items are delayed. It's all a disaster right now in the mid lane for Guar Stardians, and they have to weather the storm somehow. At least they got the first dragon. And that is very good news for them.
And it's actually quite useful then. An early Mountain Drake, just that little bit of resistances can really help. You know, maybe it's just enough to stop a kill going through, potentially, particularly on that Kale. You know, it could be key if they survive. Just enough.
Yeah, OPX deciding to start the Rift Herald here. They're going to take it. And I feel like I know where this Herald is going to go. Meanwhile, D-Hero taking so much damage, but Feb is here for the rescue. He's going to jump right on top of the Alawi. The ultimate is down, so not as much damage still, but oh my goodness, almost gets a kill in that 1v2. Oh wait, she's going to get one. Can Alawi survive? No, she can't. The Silas will get the kill, but wow, that was very dangerous. Could have ended even worse for Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, the power though of Alawi tentacles, the amount of healing and damage produced from them is great, and you've got to give props to Kofuib there in a difficult situation. Turning that into a even trade is really, really well played.
Yep, very well played. Now Lucian is going to return to the mid lane to harass Mikhail some more. 50 CS gap. Probably got a few plates of his own. Okay, he's got one plate. He's close to getting the second one. February 14th will probably look to put that Rift Herald mid at some point just to give Lucian even more gold in this matchup. And the calling comes in. Will Kayle use her ultimate? Okay, she will hold it off. Still the TP available to get back to lane.
I have to admit, I don't know whether they would OPX want to use the Rift Herald mid necessarily. It does give actually a bit of safety to the Kayle. Without that mid lane turret, she can just sit back, wait for the minions to push into her.
Yeah, I was just... Well, I guess we don't really have time to talk about that. Okay, Zilean will escape. Yeah, what I meant was just try and put it early enough in a way that the turret does not go down.
Okay, just giving the turret plate gold.
Yeah, mostly just with plates. But yeah, if it actually went down, then it would be a pretty bad situation. Well, not the worst situation, but not as good as it could be. For OPX, Kayle could potentially just keep the minions frozen and try to get some more of that CS, while Lucian would be in danger, potentially trying to get CS of his own.
Yeah. Ocean Dragon going over to OPX as well,
Flash
and
engage.
a big engage from Small Walrus.
Zephyrs is going to die, no ultimate available. Jaina Proudmoore and Small Walrus already getting themselves a pretty big lead here in this lane as well. The mid and bottom side of the map clearly in control for OPX, and now the jungler is going to come in as well. Bekla has to use Arcane Shift and Flash. I don't know if that Flash was necessary, but now they're going to try and strike back potentially. Flowey does have the TP, decides to not use it for now. We're just going to accept this stalemate. No more kills for OPX.
And no more turret platings for either team. The turret platings have just finished. They have gone down. And this could be first turret going to hands. Yep.
Yeah, so we're we're going to take that down.
Yeah. But if we have a look at the gold difference, 6.5k to less than 3.5 in the mid lane. It's just keeping on widening. And there's so little Yuri Undertones can do to, you know, try and gank that Lucian.
Teleport coming into the bottom lane. Silas steals the Zilean ultimate. That is already quite dangerous, but the TP in reply from the Alawi. And it looks like no more action for now, although the Rift Herald is spawned. So OPX will try just to force this tower down. And can they do it? You gotta keep in mind that their strongest member, Lucian, is on the other side of the map. So that already makes things more difficult. Oh, that was a fair bit of anti-synergy there. Samira tried to block with True Shot Barrage. Silas uses his ultimate anyway. Oh, now Yuri Undertone's in big trouble. The Gale Force plus the Culling just snipes him down. He only has the Divine Sunder and no armor to speak of.
Yeah. He knows his limits, Hans, and that was definitely right on the edge. One more turret shot would have spelt the end, but it was enough. And that's a 4-0 Lucian. That is despicable.
Oh, Ilawi with a flash ultimate. Trying to get at least one kill, and she will get one. Small Walrus falls. Bekla has to use Arcane Shift just to run away towards his tower, but there's too much damage between Volibear and the Silas. The kills just keep on coming for OPX. Wait, Coffee Weep is still here. Zillion ult will be used. Dana Proudmore can't really get any kills here in a 1v2 situation. It's a little bit too dangerous.
Yeah, not without that CC setup that Samira really needs to get in comfortably. But at the same time, holding his own there. You know, not giving away too much and keeping the CS pretty high as well.
So now Evolution has moved from mid lane to top. He's pretty much getting all the farm he wants in a side lane. He's not really getting answered by anyone on the enemy team. He's going to get this turret as well. Lowy too late to answer that one. And
bot lane turret might also fall as well. Scott potentially going a little bit deep for this turret.
yeah, the coffers of OPX just keep getting bigger and bigger. We're mostly just looking at his Lucian here. If he manages to finish his Cyrilda's Grudge this early into the game, like the potential range advantage that Kayle and Ezreal could have over OPX is not going to matter all that much.
And OPX are currently, what, 5k gold ahead? But 4 of that is just in mid lane. That is how big the gap is right now.
Yeah, and this is why OPX needs to continue playing around this mid lane Lucian. Just wherever he goes, OPX needs to shadow him or at least try to assist him in any way.
Dragon is going to be up very soon, next couple of seconds. And a very deep gank. I like this from OPX.
This is looking very bad. Zephyr's and Bekla in a lot of trouble. The Maokai W roots both. And
that was a huge ultimate from Small Walrus. That was a big, big grasping roots.
Yeah, that was just easy as pie for OPX. GST no longer have their tower. They are no longer safe in that position when OPX just have so much gold and also took the mid lane tower as well. So there's so much open space between mid and bottom. If you're even slightly overextended, you're going to pay the price, and that is exactly what happened. But now, Hans just keeps being on the aggressive side here. Yuri Undertones is going to get the Herald, but... well, Jaina Proudmore going to expend the flash in this case, but kill is a kill.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, getting the Herald is definitely the right choice. You've lost the fight bot lane. You can try for something. But that was a good read by OPX to get him in the Herald pit, in the Baron pit.
So now it's a 7,000 gold difference, over 4,000 of which can be attributed to the Lucian.
Yeah. I mean, well, we're seeing nearly 9 CS per minute on this Lucian. That is a fantastic feat so far from Hans.
Yeah, Kayle, it's 20 minutes in. We're still not at the point where she even has the Nashor's Tooth completed. At least she has level 11, but yeah, she's extremely stunted in terms of items. There's so much time that Guar Stardians need to buy somehow. And, you know, these dragons are going to keep coming up. And can they really contest any of them?
And
How much can they give up?
Yeah, and Small War is going deep for the Kale.
Wow. Super, super easy. Once again, the Kale is getting absolutely cyberbullied in this one.
We did mention, at the start, it's an unconventional pick, and against a meta pick like Lucian, slightly out of meta maybe now, but it's still such a strong pick. And it seems a very weird thing to first pick, I would say.
Yeah, because considering what is going on in this game, that is probably like the biggest offense when it comes to this draft. There's absolutely no, like, there's nothing coming from the mid lane. Nothing of value for Guar Stardians. It's still basically like they're playing 4 versus 5, and that's not going to change anytime soon. And while all that is happening, Volution just keeps getting more and more items with Samira. They are getting their power spikes, and Guar Stardians are ill-prepared to face these 2 carries right now.
Yeah, and when you see the Lucian is about to break 200 CS, and your Kale is just about on the 100, just about breaking the 110s, you're 21 minutes in, the difference in your mid lane is just, it's undeniably huge.
We're trying to get some damage onto the Lucian. Lucian answers with a culling, but the Alawi ultimate is enough to dissuade him from continuing with the attack. But now OPX is here, and Guar Stardians have to escape really, really fast.
That's actually quite good for Guar Stardians, though. 5 members of Order of the Phoenix, all top. And they will try and pivot for Baron here, it looks like. But there was vision. Guar Stardians will know that Baron is started.
Okay, OPX trying to force the hand of Star Guardians, but True Shot Barrage is good. It lands onto the carries of OPX. But our Guar Stardian is even in position to steal this one. Mundo is not going to use his flash because he doesn't have one. And OPX just takes the Baron buff. Guar Stardians were not ready for the interception here. All they really did was spawn the Rift Herald in the mid lane, and also the bottom lane, the Kale is getting farmed. It is understandable for Guar Stardians to try and get advantages elsewhere while the Baron is being taken. Not sure if they had a chance in a direct fight, but yeah, it does feel bad to just give out the Baron like that.
I think realistically, though, considering their situation, it's probably best that they didn't try and contest too hard. I think if they had contested and lost that fight, it could have been game. So I understand, I kind of like them showing a bit of restraint and not just trying to flip it for a Baron fight. I would like to see them be a bit more aggressive in this Dragon fight, though.
Yeah, but now there's another fight coming up, and keep your eyes on the Alawi. How much can she do for Guar Stardians? She flashes in with the ultimate. That's a lot of damage coming in. OPX a bit isolated, the 2 groups, but now the damage is more than enough to secure the fight. The Samira and the Lucian and the Silas. The gold difference is really what's mostly winning the fight here, and yeah, Guar Stardians, it might just be the beginning of the end for these guys, as OPX is not going to have the inhibitor turrets right now.
Yeah, the gates are going to start to be opened very, very soon. 1 turret already down, and potentially the inhib as well. Unless they can do much.
I would be careful when it comes to approaching the Lucian, even when you're Ezreal.
And some restraint here from OPX shown. Not going to try and push too hard. Not going to try and get the inhib or that inhib turret mid lane. I think that's definitely the right thing to do. You've just got a lot of gold. You've got Baron. You've got a dragon. You've won a team fight. Spend all of the stuff that's in your pocket, and then look for the next fight.
Yeah, like they didn't take the inhibitor. They probably recognized that the next fight in which they take a decisive win, they can probably just end the game. So there's no reason to take the inhibitor and give that bonus golden experience to the enemy team. This is something that is mentioned in almost every single region when it comes to like the casting teams and
The damage
Oh, wow.
from hands there.
Zillion.
Despicable.
Wow. The Chrono Shift has to be used just to stay alive. Wow, Lucian potentially in deep trouble, but dashes away just in time. Now OPX 4 mid, Silas on the split push duty. They're just going to try and mount one final push to end this game. It's going to start with a mid lane inhibitor, potentially a rotation towards bot lane inhib, and then they're just going to bide their time and look for the right time to strike. The game could very well end in the next 2 minutes. As long as they get the right fight here. Mundo has to flash away and use maximum dosage. Meanwhile, Lucian, using the culling, almost kills Vasilian, kites away from the 5 members of Guar Stardians, and OPX just continuing to push on the other side. Hans could potentially just rotate towards the bottom side, but I guess he wants to stay closer to his team in case a fight eventually breaks out.
Yeah. I mean, the Kale is level 13 and definitely going to start dealing some damage.
Hero going in, but Flash is right after. That was an interesting move there. Okay, OPX. They decide enough is enough. Or is it? No, wait. Hans is still pushing the bot lane inhibitor. We're not done here. February 14th is in... yeah, it's fair to assist just in case something bad happens to Evolution, but wow, the damage is absolutely off the scale for Evolution. The Kale ultimate, followed by the stolen Kale ultimate. Small Walrus gets that kill. He's going to die to the turret just barely, but it doesn't matter. OPX winning all over the map. Coffee Weeb not strong enough to kill Evolution, or...
Nearly though.
Oh wow, almost dies. Zillion ult comes in to save the Alawi for a little bit longer, but okay, 1 kill in reply. Can actually I don't think OPX can end this game in this scenario.
You've got to give it to Coffee. He is trying his best to keep the dreams and hopes of Garstardian alive. Really doing as much as he can there, and nearly taking down 2 of the biggest threats of Order of the Phoenix there.
Yeah, it is a valiant effort, but yeah, it's just going to delay the inevitable in this case. I think it would just take OPX literally not doing anything on the map for at least a few minutes in order for this game to have any sort of, you know, chance at a even fight between the two teams.
And unfortunately for Garstardian, they definitely don't have any more than 10 seconds before Baron's up. And then after Baron, less than 40
Infernal
seconds
Soul.
now until Infernal Soul.
Which is, wow, it's the absolute worst case scenario when it comes to Dragon Soul as well, because Lucian and the Samira and the Silas, they all build so much in terms of offensive items that just boost their capabilities even further.
And that was an incredibly quick Baron. And they're going to walk, I think, straight towards Dragon. I mean, look, there is no... All 5 members of Garstardians are in their own base. 2 members of Order of the Phoenix, I think, will go to Dragon. And it looks like the rest will just keep Garstardian in their cage.
I don't think they even need that Infernal Soul, but it's certainly going to make things easier for them.
Doing it for the stats at this point.
Okay, the culling onto Bekla.
Oh my lord.
Arcane Shift just to get away. The 3v5, but Garstardians are still positioning like they're not sure if they actually want this fight, which is understandable. Evolution is a one-man army at this point. Zephyr's close to dying, goes down to Evolution. The kills keep coming in for OPX. There's only one onto Evolution because, you know, Hans has to die at some point during the game. He couldn't have ended the game deathless. Now he has one, but it doesn't change anything. OPX confidently and comfortably win this